Do you know that there are three sounds of at in English? They are t, d, and it. For example, liked, described, tested. So as you can see by these three words, here in the first example, at sounds t, while in the second, at sounds d, and at last, at sounds it. The question is, how do we know, or how can we differentiate the sound at into t, d, and it? Here you are. So that is very easy. The rule number one, when the last sound is voiceless or unvoiced, then at sounds t. What is voiceless or unvoiced? A voiceless speech sound is one that is produced without vibration of the vocal cords. So here is the vocal cords. If there is no vibration in the vocal cords, then the sound we produced is called as voiceless or unvoiced. And the voiceless sounds in English are such as p, k, t, f, s, s, and h. Can you hear me? Okay. That is soft because as the meaning here, when I produce the sounds, then there is no vibration in my vocal cords. So once again, I'll repeat p, k, t, f, s, s, and h. For example, the word tap. The last sound is p. When this word is with at, then we pronounce it as tapped. Tapped. So here at sounds t. Another example, stuff. Stuff. The last sound is f, and when the word is with at or in the past form, then we pronounce it as stuffed. Stuffed. Next, laugh. Laugh. The last sound is f, and when it is in the past form, we pronounce it as laughed. Laughed. It means at sounds t. And the second, or rule number two, when the last sound is voiced, then at sounds d. A voiced sound is category of sounds made while the vocal cords vibrate. So this is the opposite of voiceless. When we produce the sound with a vibration in the vocal cords, it means the sounds that we produce are called as voiced. Here are the sounds that are classified as voiced in English. This one from consonants, and all vowel sounds are voiced. Examples: dub. Dub. The last sound is b. Then when it is in the past form, we pronounce it as dubbed. Dubbed. Serve. Serve. The last sound is v, and when it is in the past form, we pronounce it as served, served. So we end our pronunciation with closing D. Okay, served, served. Here is another example. Tag, tag. The last sound is g, g, and this is a voice. Then, when it is in the past form, we pronounce it as tugged, tugged, tugged. Praise, praise. The last sound is z. Then, when it is in the past form, we pronounce it as praised, praised, praised. Okay. Well, in real conversation, this is, this is not very clear when we produce or when we pronounce this d, especially native speaker. But this is it. At becomes d when the words in the past form. Okay, let's see some more examples. Blame, blame. The last sound is then the past form is blamed, blamed, blamed. Okay, at sounds d. Travel, travel. The last sound is l. Then the past form is traveled, traveled. Because this one at becomes d. Way, way. The last sound is I. Okay, and as I already mentioned, all vowel sound are voiced. So the past form weighed, okay, with at becomes weighed, weighed. And this is the last example. Carol, carol. Okay, the last sound is I. Then the past form, or when it is with at, it becomes carried, carried. Okay, and this is the last rule, or rule number 3. When the last sound is t or d, then at sounds id. For example, need, need. The last sound is d and the past form is needed. Then at sounds id. Applaud, applaud, applaud. The past form is at becomes it. Applauded, applauded. Guide, guide. The last sound is d. The past form is guided, guided. At becomes id. Want, want. The last sound is t. Then the past form wanted, wanted. At becomes it because the last sound is t. Okay, as the rule, when the last sound is t or d, then at sounds id. Okay. Roast, roast. The past form is roasted, roasted. At becomes id because the last sound of this word is t. Create, create. The last sound is t. Then the past form becomes created, created, created. Okay, at becomes id. So, in conclusion, the 3 sounds of at, they are t, d, and it. It depends on the last sound. If the last sound of the verb or the word is voiceless or unvoiced, then at becomes t, while at becomes d if the last sound of the word is voiced, and the last at becomes it if the last sound of the word is one of t or d. So remember, it's based on the last sound of the word, based on these three sounds classification. Voiceless, then at becomes t. Voiced, at becomes d. T or d, at becomes it. Yeah, that's it. Well, in my experience, if only to memorize, that is really hard to understand, but practice them in your speaking daily, that will be easier and naturally comprehended or stored in your mind. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, like and commenting this video. See you next time.